Okay, let's dive right in. Are super teams really the future of the NBA? I mean, are they this golden age of talent we're heading towards? Or are they maybe, just maybe, a ticking time bomb, sort of destroying everything that made the league beautiful in the first place?
It feels like an addiction sometimes, doesn't it? This constant need to stack talent.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the grind, the patient build, that's out. Shortcuts and ring chasing, that seems to be in.
It really does.
So that's our mission today. We're digging deep. Are super teams truly the future, or are they actually a threat? A threat to, balance, competition, the whole appeal.
Well, it's funny you say that because this idea, the super team label, it feels really recent, right?
Yeah, very much so. Like a modern invention.
But the actual concept, concentrated talent just dominating, that's old school. Think about the 60s Celtics.
Oh, yeah. Russell, Kusi, Havlicek.
Right. 11 titles, 13 years. That's a dynasty built on stacked talent, wouldn't you say? Even if they didn't call it a super team back then.
Absolutely. They were the dominant force. And then, the 80s, you had the Lakers and Celtics, Magic, Kareem were the...
Versus Bird, McHale, Parrish.
Yeah, exactly. Now, they were mostly built through the draft, sure, but you still had these two teams just overflowing with Hall of Famers.
It wasn't today's free agency frenzy, definitely not.
But the impact, all that talent on two teams, it made that era legendary. So, is it how they get the players or just how many stars they have?
That's a really good question. I think the 2008 Celtics are maybe a better comparison for the modern era.
KG Pierce, Ray Allen.
Yeah, brought together quickly through trades, built to win now, and they did. It kind of showed, hey, this can work fast. What stood out to you about them?
Just how deliberate it felt. Like, okay, we're not waiting. We're getting these prime established guys now. And then LeBron, 2010. Taking my talents to South Beach.
That was the moment, wasn't it?
Felt like everything shifted. The Heatles, LeBron, Wade, Bosh. Suddenly it was mainstream. Players thinking, hey, we can just team up, shortcut the whole process. Did that feel like a fundamental change to you?
Oh, absolutely. Player power, player agency, it just exploded. And team strategy had to react.
Yeah.
Suddenly, years of careful drafting could just be bypassed. You just needed stars to agree to play together.
And then the Warriors took it nuclear, right? In 2016, already won 73 games.
And then they add Kevin Durant.
I mean, what was the reaction then? Do you remember?
It was a mix. Awe, definitely.
Yeah.
But also this feeling of, well, what's the point?
Yeah, inevitability. The finals felt like, okay, Cavs versus Warriors again. And again, predictable.
And now look around. KD, Booker, Beal, and Phoenix.
Giannis, Dame, Middleton, and Milwaukee.
The Clippers, Kawhi, PG, Harden, Westbrook. It's just an arms race.
So back to that question for you listening.
Yeah.
Are super teams really the future? Or is this just killing true competition?
Okay, let's be fair. There are upsides, right? From a business perspective.
Oh, for sure. The drama. The headlines.
Jersey sales go up. Social media goes nuts. TV ratings. They often get a bump, especially for those big matchups.
I remember the buzz when LeBron went to Miami. Huge. And the KD Warriors, even the hate watching was intense interest. What do you think drives that initial buzz?
It's the spectacle, I think. Seeing all that talent together promises, basketball at its highest theoretical level.
Like an all-star game with real stakes.
Yeah.
Big rivalries, epic playoff series. That's the dream.
That's the promise. But then you zoom out. You look at the whole league. What are the downsides?
Well, the big one seems to be the league getting super top-heavy.
Right. A few loaded teams and then everyone else.
It kind of kills the underdog story, doesn't it? Makes the regular season feel less meaningful sometimes if only a few teams really have a shot. How does that affect the spirit of competition, you think?
It feels like it forces teams into a corner. Either you stack stars or you risk just being irrelevant.
Especially for small markets. Imagine being OKC, right? You draft brilliantly, develop these guys.
And then they leave for a ready-made contender. It's tough.
Yeah. And the focus shifts, right? It's less about culture, chemistry, coaching.
And more about just hoarding talent, max contracts, player egos driving decisions.
But here's the kicker. How often do these things actually work as planned?
Exactly. The failure rate is surprisingly high. Look at the 2021 Nets. KD, Kyrie, Harden, fizzled.
The 2023 Suns. KD, Booker, CP3, Ayton, didn't meet expectations.
The current Clippers, facing their own hurdles, it shows how fragile these things are.
So fragile. It's not just plug and play. Why do you think they stumble so often?
Well, you mentioned it. Chemistry's huge. Egos can clash. And injuries. Injuries are almost inevitable when you rely on a few high-usage stars.
It just seems like the whole model is built on shaky ground sometimes. Can it really be the sustainable future?
Which leads to another point, one people maybe don't talk about as much, the impact on young players.
Ah, right. What happens when you're, say, a 21-year-old lottery pick and you land on a team stacked with all-stars?
Where do you get the minutes, the touches, the chance to, make mistakes and learn?
You don't, really. You become a role player. A specialist, maybe. Instead of potentially developing into a star yourself, your growth gets kind of stunted.
Think about James Wiseman, number 2 pick, goes to the Warriors, a championship team.
Limited minutes, inconsistent role. Now he's trying to figure it out elsewhere.
Now, contrast that with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in OKC.
Totally different situation. Given the keys, freedom to grow.
And boom, MVP candidate. It's a stark difference. It really shows that trade-off, doesn't it? Win now versus develop talent.
So what's the long-term effect? Are we heading towards a league of just established superstars and then guys who just do 1 or 2 things well?
It feels like it could create that kind of divide. Fewer well-rounded stars emerging because the opportunities aren't there on those top teams.
So again, are super teams really the future? Or are they kind of killing the pipeline that makes the game evolve?
And then there's the money side of things. Can the league structure even support this long-term?
Yeah, the salary cap. It's supposed to create balance, right?
But you see teams with multiple guys on Supermax deals. We're talking, what, over $60 million a year for some players?
It's wild. The financial strain must be enormous, even with the luxury tax kicking in hard.
Yet, owners keep spending. Why? Because rings equal relevance.
And relevance equals revenue. Makes sense.
But you have to wonder, is it a bubble? Especially for those smaller market owners who just can't compete with that level of spending. Is there discontent brewing?
It feels like there has to be. Could we see changes, maybe in the next CBA? Limits on stacking contracts, incentives for using draft picks.
It's definitely possible. The league might have to step in somehow if things get too skewed. And, we're seeing a bit of a counter-narrative this season, aren't we?
Look at teams like OKC, Minnesota, Orlando. Mostly built the quote-unquote right way, through the draft, smart trades, development.
And they're having real success. What does that tell you about what fans might actually want?
Maybe it's not just about star power. Maybe fans miss that competitive balance, the underdog stories, the drama of a close game based on team play, not just talent overload.
There's drama, and then there's predictability. Maybe the latter's getting a bit old.
So the big question then is, how long can this model dominate? Is this it? Or is the league maybe quietly prepping for a reset?
It really is a double-edged sword, isn't it? Super teams bring buzz, headlines, high-stakes games. They push everyone to get better.
But they can also kind of erode the things we love. The grind, loyalty, chemistry built over time.
The whole process of team building feels different now. Less scouting and drafting, more trades, social media rumors, maybe even tampering.
Yeah, it makes you ask, is the NBA fundamentally a league about basketball teams? Or is it becoming more like a fantasy league for billionaires?
And are fans getting tired of it? The tanking at the bottom, the concentration of stars at the top, maybe that novelty is wearing off.
It feels like we're at a crossroads.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Do we double down on the super team era, or is there a shift back towards more traditional team building?
Looking back through NBA history, these things come in waves, right? Iso ball, hand checking, even the short shorts.
Yeah, exactly.
So, are super teams really the future? Or are they just another phase, something we'll look back on?
Only time will tell on that one.
Okay, so now it's your turn. We want to hear from you. Drop a comment below. Tell us, do you think super teams are good for the NBA? Or are they ruining the game we love?
Yeah, let us know your thoughts. And smash that like button if you think the league needs more parity, more of those unexpected contenders.
And definitely subscribe for more deep dives. Just like this one, we love getting into these big questions.
Absolutely.
And hey, next time someone says, oh, we just need another superstar to form a super team, ask them one thing. Are super teams really the future of the NBA?
Because if they are, the league might look very different down the road.
The league we love might never be the same again. Think about that.